Anivia, the Cryo-Phoenix. The icy Freljordian lands make up the home of Anivia. She's more than just a bird. She's a demigod, cyclical as she is. The seasons coming and going, the people coming and going. She represents that endless cycle of life. Anivia is the elemental soul of the Freljord, revered as an icon for the ever-changing life we all face. Tales passed on from one generation on to the next paint a picture of her. See, she rewards those that are good-spirited, those who are good to the bone. When described, she is said to be a bird completely made of ice, beautiful sparkly wings stretching out further than what seems possible, and a legendary cry that cuts through even the howliest of winds. Well, at least that's what those that have seen her say. The Notai tribe wanders about the Freljord singing songs about how Anivia summoned snow for the first time. As she popped out of her icy egg, little fragments of it flew every which way, a lot of it making it into the sky. To this day, when it snows, that's what that is. Frost-bird egg chunks. Another tribe, the Morn Crows, add that when the chilly Freljordian wind cuts right through ya, that's from the first time Anivia flapped those gigantic popsicle wings of hers. Winter ain't a force to contend with, believe you me, and Anivia is winter incarnate. If you got aims to exploit, maybe even do a small amount of conquering of the Freljord, best put on your snuggliest parka, 'cause Anivia won't show you any leeway. She'll get all worked up into a huff so fierce she can cut through rock, making it so cold steel shatters. One of the most sacred beliefs is that Anivia created that ever-elusive true ice that everyone rants and raves about. It was the big bird's gift to Freljord. It doesn't melt. The magic keeps it always, well, ice. The greatest magic seekers of that land are always on the hunt for shards of it. It intensifies their power just so. And when it's forged into weapons for cutting or hitting, you have got a weapon. The first time mortals set foot in the Freljord, they were welcomed by Anivia. She saw they were battered around by the harsh chilliness, so she pointed them towards valleys that they could hunker down and carve out a living. To acclimate for life in the ice cube up north, Anivia nurtured them for the better part of a few centuries to make sure that they had gained a footing in Icetown. Gave those peoples good reason to worship the Cryo-Phoenix. Anivia had plans that these mortal folk, at this point having broken themselves into several different tribes, would stick together to protect the Freljord from foreign interlopers. What she had hoped and what happened were two different things. Interrelation relationships wore down over time between those tribes, pettiness, feuds based on blood, you name it. They were too busy fighting amongst themselves to properly protect their settled homeland. Legend has it that a hoity-toity king took his warriors and marched right up the mountains to claim the magics of the Freljord in his own name. Anivia was furious at the sheer degree of insolence of these humans, so she blasted him with a blizzard that lasted an entire century plus one additional day for good measure. If you were to visit this scouring plain, it's said that you can see big ol' upright stones strewn about, the remnants of that arrogant king and his army. Ever heard of the story of Ulla Shatterspear? No? She was a great Avarosan iceborn war mother. Anivia took notice of her when Ulla rescued a fledgling hawk from the jaws of a rime-fanged wolf. This earned her Anivia's favor, and throughout her life she was blessed with an enduring protection. And when Ulla met her end on the battlefield, after a long, illustrious life, Anivia unfurled her unimaginably massive wings and took her in. If all these stories have a nugget of truth to them, that means Anivia has been around long enough to see many a civilization come and go. Sure, a few are hanging around to the day of now, but think of all the ones that didn't make the cut, sitting under all that ice. Anivia herself can't die. Throughout the ages, she's been killed off a couple of times, but she always comes back. As long as the Freljord is, then so is Anivia, one and the same. It might take her a few hundred years, even thousands if she feels like sleeping in. Each time she cracks her way out of her egg means the ushering in of a new era. So it's bittersweet in that it's great to have her flapping around again, but her hatching means something scary is right around the bend. Once upon a happening, a cluster of Bale Striders, those big gargantuan jumbo creatures of omens and imminent doom, were making their way across the Freljord. Anivia knew that she didn't have what it took to kill 'em off, so she sacrificed herself by flying at 'em, crushing herself into an icy mist. She ended their march by sealing them deep in ice. A few people here and there say Anivia has been reborn, making herself known to War Mother Ashe, the newest leader of the Avarosans. Anivia figures that Ashe has a solid chance of bringing all those bickering Freljordian tribes back into one big family. But if that's true, and Anivia the mighty Cryophoenix has rehatched, what manner of beasties, catastrophes, or bad news bears have we got coming for us?